This is an annual segment we do every year because I feel it's vitally important and it's a great public service. Summer is coming, it's upon us, and one thing that is vitally important is beach safety. What to do, what not to do, and I brought in 3 lifeguards, Marvin Weiss, good friend, and Marvin, welcome to the show again.
Thank you, Howard. Nice to see you.
And Marvin, how many years have you been a Long Beach lifeguard?
Long Beach lifeguard over 33 years.
And look at him. How amazing does he look? Can we give up for Marvin Weiss? And we also have Mark Davey and Phil Cappuccino. How are you guys doing?
Great. How's it going, Howie?
And Mark, you're at Jones Beach, and Phil, you're at Long Beach.
Yes.
Okay. Correct. All right, Mark, what's the first thing you want to stress to the people out there about beach safety?
Well, as the season begins, and it really doesn't officially begin, at least full-time down in Long Beach until the end of June, we'll get nice days in between. We just wanted you to know and make sure if you're not a swimmer, do not go in the ocean. Don't go near the ocean. No guards, don't swim. Please don't. So we just want to emphasize that even in times when the beach is open full-time, if there aren't lifeguards on duty and you're not an ocean person, please stay away from the water. Also, we want you to be aware when on the beaches, there are systems in place to tell you where to swim. One of those systems are red and green flags. Red and green flags are universal. Any country you go to, any beachhead you see, there'll be red and green flags where the lifeguards are. Green means good, red means bad. Don't do it. Mark?
Okay, Mark, and let's hear some of your important things that you want to stress about beach safety.
Sure. I work out at Robert Moses in Jones Beach, and we have a lot of extended area outside those red flags Marvin was just talking about. And if we've ever had a fatality, it's been outside those flags. And that's important for everyone to know. The designated swimming areas are put there for a reason. The other thing that is very important is because the hurricane came through and a lot of sand was shifting, if you go in the water, there's a lot of drop-offs. And we've had some circumstances where people were just walking in the water knee deep, and the next minute they're over their head and they're walking parallel to the beach. So you have to really understand the contour of the beach or the water and never ever feel uncomfortable walking up to a lifeguard or even a police officer and asking them, where can you go in? I think the number one case, and these guys would agree, of problems is people swimming where they're not supposed to.
Phil, let's hear from you and some of the things that you want to stress about beach safety as we gear towards the summer.
Well, thank you, Howie. This is my 14th summer lifeguarding, not as much as Marvin, but I'm doing a pretty good job at it. One thing I want to make sure that no one does is that right now the project in Long Beach is the jetties. They're being rebuilt. It's a big attraction. They're massive now. A lot of people are starting to walk on them, but they're super, super dangerous. You never want to, anywhere in the world, anywhere where there's rocks and water, it's probably the most dangerous point of the beach. So stay away from the rocks, especially don't go in the water near the rocks. Don't go on them, don't take pictures on them. Stay safe, and that's about it.
Marvin, let's talk about some other issues we talked about before the show that is really important to go over as we go into the summer.
Mark mentioned about the storms. Well, lately we've had a lot of different storms. So the sand is shifting again and again and again. That's total awareness there. And when that sand shifts and if someone's on it, Mark mentioned where they'll be over their heads in a moment, this can happen. And therefore a riptide may occur. People have heard the term rip, pull, undertow, whichever it might be. The important thing is that when you get caught in something like that, please try your best. Do not panic. Call out, flare your arms, we will see you, we will come and get you. But if you panic, your muscles tighten up, your body tightens up, and then you find yourself underwater. We don't want that. We will be there in a moment to get you. Other people are around. That's part of the safety of being aware and being part of the beach family so that we can make sure that everyone is safe. We're always watching over everyone.
Marvin, I'm sure you've had some dramatic rescues over the year. Talk about what that's like when you see someone in distress, struggling, and basically save their life. Talk about what's that like.
That's always a tough one. The adrenaline's flowing, you're running, you're on the move, you're thinking, but in certain ways you're not because you're reacting. After so many years, you react, you go, you do, you finish up, you get the person out, they're saved, they haven't taken on water, let's say, and it's just a feeling of euphoria at that point that you did what you're made to do, what you want to do, what you've always come to do for people. We've had rescues off season that are probably even more intense than during season, and all of a sudden someone just disappears into the surf and you're going out maybe with no flotation devices and going and grabbing them and pulling them in. I've experienced that. I'm sure Mark has as well, and Phil has in his tenure, and I'm sure they can tell you even more of how they feel about it.
Mark, you wanted to add something? Sure.
Yeah, like I was stating before, we have a little different of a system where we have a lot. We call them the flats. It's the areas between beaches, and they could be hundreds of yards to a couple miles. And when you look at your peripheral vision and you see somebody that far down and that far out, we've had some pretty hairy experiences where you've had to swim out to somebody and they get submerged. I think that's one of the ones that I remember the most is when the person actually goes under and then you swim to them and you're diving down hoping you feel somebody. And been very lucky that we generally got there, well I won't say generally, always got there where we were able to get them on a flotation device and have a system in place where we're able to use multiple lifeguards to pull them in. And you know, the other thing about the jetties is you might see a lot of people surfing, and one of the things that Robert Moses is you're allowed to surf anywhere you want except in the swimming areas, and people overestimate their ability, and we've had a lot of rescues where people paddle out and it might be mom and dad on shore saying it's okay, I'm watching them, and we see that the waves might be over their ability level or they just learned how to get on a surfboard, and the twist is that they get off a flotation device or they take it off to try to swim in and you're going out and getting them. And so it's always trying to have people swim at their ability level and as we said before, kind of follow the guidelines.
Boogie boards.
And no matter what the system is in place, whether you work at Jones Beach, in Long Beach, town of Islip, what have you, I think every lifeguard's main job is to make sure that whoever comes to the beach goes home. And obviously staying safe and being preventative as much as possible, but everyone that comes to the beach and goes in the water wants to go home at the end of the day, including us.
There's a thing called do's and don'ts of the beach. I want to know, and let's stress some of the absolute don'ts people should absolutely don't do on the beach.
If you're using a boogie board, don't go in the water without a leash. The leash is your connection to your flotation device. We emphasize it strongly. Stay on the board. If that board gets floated out to sea in a rip current, if you're floating, that's fantastic. We can come and get you. If you get off the board and you cannot swim and you're under the water, that's a problem. It'll be a problem for me, it'll be a problem for you, it'll be a problem for your family. Let's not do that. Beach safety, boogie boards must have leashes. It's important. We make sure that even the surfers have leashes with their bigger boards so that they always have a flotation device connected to them. But those boogie boards, especially being used by smaller children, are a must. Also, listen to the lifeguards. We're not out there just to tell you what to do. We're not trying to tell you what to do. We're making suggestions that are in your best interest. We're not trying to be, pardon my slang, but hard asses. But we are there for your safety, and we are there to respect you, but please respect us for what we bring to the beach for you.